Hello guys, welcome to my channel. This is Nikia. We are going to be drafting our basic body pattern today. Okay, so we have our pattern paper, either your white pattern paper or your brown pattern paper. So we are going to mark our bust point, our waist half length, and our hip line. Okay, our bust point, the bust point I'm working with is 9.5. Then our waist, the waist I'm working with is 16. And when you are going to put your tape rule on your waistline and measure 8 or 9 inches for your hip line. Okay, depending on the client you are working with, you can use 9, you can use 8, you can use 10, depending on the size of the hip. So after doing that, we are going to rule it out. Okay, then we are going to we are going to mark our under bust too. Okay, after getting our bust point, our under bust, our waist half length, and our hip line. Okay, so the waist, the half length is 16, our bust point is 9.5. The bust point I'm working with, the under bust I'm working with is 12.5, and the half length is 16. And from your half length to the hip line is 9 inches. Okay, so that's it. That's what you're going to do. You are going to mark it. After marking it, we are going to measure our shoulder line. Okay, so make sure you know your shoulder measurement. The shoulder measurement I'm working with is 15, so 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. So after marking your 7.5, you are going to go down by 1 inch and mark your bust, your armhole. Okay, to get your armhole, you can divide your shoulder divided by 2. You can use that as your armhole, or you divide your bust divided by 6 plus 1.5. Okay, so after doing that, we are going to measure our neck. The neck for the front is 3 by 3. Okay, and for the back is going to be 3 by 1.5. 3 is going to go down, there another 3 up. Okay, so from your armhole, you are going to go up by 3 inches. The way I did our armhole, we are going to go up by 3 inches and go inside by 0.75, the way I did. And we are going to mark our nipple to nipple. Okay, so your nipple to nipple, the nipple to nipple that I'm using is 3.5. You are going to mark your nipple to nipple on your bust point, your under bust, and your half length. Okay, and after that, you are going to measure your bust circumference divided by 4. Whatever you have there, you mark it. Between your shoulder to waist in the front and shoulder to waist at the back is going to be what you're going to use for your bust dart intake. Okay, so the difference between my front shoulder to waist and my back shoulder to waist is 1.2. Okay, so I measure 1.2 down from my bust point and I mark my dart. Okay, I use half inch for my dart and I connect it to the bust point and connect it to the hip line. Okay, after doing that, you are going to mark your waist line. You are going to divide your waist by 4 and mark it. Okay, and after dividing your waist by 4, you are going to add the 1 inch that you are going to use for your dart. The 1 inch that you use for your dart, you are going to make sure that you mark it, you add it to your measurement. Okay, so the waist I'm working with is 26 divided by 2 is 6.5, plus the 1 inch that I use for my dart, which is 1 inch. So I added it, making it 7.5. And you can see that I showed you 1.2, the one I use for my bust dart intake. Okay, then you are going to connect everything together. All right, you can use your curve ruler or you can use your straight ruler to connect it. You don't need to add your shoulder line to your pattern. Okay, the reason why I added mine is because I need it for the style I want to sew. Okay, so there is no need. I'm still going to teach you how to transfer your dart from one place to another. Then you are going to connect your armhole together. From your armhole, the down part, you are going to connect it to the 0.5, and you are going to connect it to our 1 inch that I said should go down to. We are going to join our shoulder slope together. I did mine when I'm done with everything I was planning on doing, so don't mind me, but you are going to join your shoulder slope together before cutting. For the back pattern, we are going to mark our shoulder to waist measurement and our bust line. Okay, don't forget that our shoulder to waist for the front and shoulder to waist for the back is totally different from each other. So you are going to mark your bust point, which is 9.5 that we use in the front, and we are going to mark our shoulder to waist, which is 14.8, because we use 16 for the front, and our bust dart intake was 1.2, so that leaves us 14.8. Okay, so after doing that, you are going to mark our zip allowance. Okay, we are going to mark our zip allowance, which is going to be 1 inch. The way I did it, that's how you are going to do it. Just mark your zip allowance. All right, so mark it and roll it out. So after marking the zip allowance, we are going to measure 9 inches from our waistline to our half length line to down. We are going to measure half 9 inches, which is going to be our hip line. Okay, the 9 inches we measure for the front when we're measuring it. That's what we are going to do for the back. So you measure from your half length down, measure 9 inches, which is going to be our our hip line. Then we are going to mark our nipple to nipple at the back too, which is 8.5. You mark it, rule it out, and we are going to mark half inch, which is going to be our dart intake, half inch at both sides. Then connect it to the straight line that we mark initially, which is our nipple to nipple for the back. Okay, I'm going to input my measurement to the dart, to the pattern. Okay, to the back pattern. Our hip divided by 4, we are going to mark it. Our waist divided by 4, we are going to mark it plus the 1 inch we use for our dart. All right, so we are going to mark our bust divided by 4. We are going to mark it the waist divided by 4 plus 1 inch that we use for our dart and our hip measurement. Okay, so that's what we are going to do. Then you are going to use your ruler to connect it together. You can use your straight ruler and you can use your curved ruler to connect it together. All right, I'm marking my shoulder. Your shoulder divided by 2, then you mark it out. Okay, and you are going to mark our neckline. Our neck is going to be 3 by 1.5. We are going to measure down 1.5 and measure by the side 3 inches and connect it together. Okay, and for our shoulder line, after getting our shoulder line, divide your shoulder by 2. You are going to go down by 1 inch and measure our armhole. Whatever you use for your front armhole, that's what you are going to use for the back armhole. Okay, so this is how you are going to do it. You are going to connect it to the bust area, and you are going to connect it like this. Connect the shoulder slope together and use your curved ruler to connect your neck line. That is all. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to my channel and turn on your notification button. Thank you. Bye.